This line in its heyday saw up to 80 trains a day.
So this is the line that runs to Ashland, which is still in use, and this is an old other track that's been gone since, when they ripped this up, 70s you think?
82 is, I think, when they ripped up the second track on this route. Conrail basically discontinued every through train after 1979 on this line. So basically at Akron, they got on Penn Central rails that took it through Orville, which isn't too far from our area. But basically everything after 1979, locals used this, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then 1982 it was severed and they ripped up. Actually, that track might have been ripped up before that, but this track was like cut and made into basically a giant spur track in 1982.
So this entire time we've been kind of running along here, we've been trying to figure out an old trolley line that went through West Salem and ran to Ashland, and guess what? We found it. As we're walking over here, you know, just checking out another train bridge. Please don't die.
Oh, don't worry, I just dropped my wallet.
Oh, okay, good. He goes, you know what? I don't think this bridge was for a
creek.
It's for a creek. You were right.
It turns out it was for a creek and for a trolley line.
That's insane. How long has this trolley line been out of service for?
Most trolley lines were done by the 1930s, so I would have guessed the same for this. I mean, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much the point. This is the true point of anything north going toward West Salem is no longer in use, and they actually filed for abandonment.
Yes, they did.
So
it's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but it's obviously we get it. I get it. There's only one business, and they, just like we've talked about in our previous video that we've made about this before.
Yeah, there's no money.
There's no money in this. They're gonna have to put millions into probably fixing this track just to go.
I guess
to West
I'm
Salem.
assuming if that bridge, it looks like that bridge is still in service if the derail's past it. So I wonder if it's this next bridge that we're gonna get with some drone footage of, or if it's the one in our first video on this line. So I'm not really sure. That other one looked fine, but I don't know. You know, I'm not a structural engineer or FAA or FRA, you know, representative, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But it is unfortunate, whatever the story is. And you know, rails that have been here for well over 100 years are going to be more pulled up, but hey, maybe we'll get another rail trail out of it.
I mean, that'd be best case scenario, honestly.
Absolutely.
Which I'm all for, especially because there is some rails to trails already of this line
more than half of this rail, what was already ripped up is rail trails now. Close to us from Creston, Ohio to Rittman, Ohio, there's a rail trail about 4 miles. Of course, it parallels CSX, modern day CSX tracks, so it's pretty neat. You get to watch some trains, and there's an old station. The original station is still intact. I haven't even been there. I gotta
go there. We need to go there.
We'll have to check that out.
We'll have to go check that out.
It's actually a restaurant. Pretty good food.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
But this is it. This is the end of the line.
Yeah.
So now we're actually on the line, just again, kind of looking around, and he found an old signal box.
You know, when we last came out here, it was still foliage, so we couldn't see anything like this. We found this box that had to do something with signals of some kind, but there's an old lead acid battery in there, which I'm sure is not great for the environment, but hey, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome, because again, this used to be 2 tracks. There used to be signals all over the place, and now that, just like he said, all leaves are gone, so now we can hopefully try and discover some stuff here.
Yeah, so you're right on the second track.
Right on the second tracks. We actually had another crossing here, as you can see, and another box.
Yeah, this one's in a little bit better shape.
Definitely.
But that's not really why we stopped. We stopped
because there's an old whistle sign.
Yeah.
So that's basically for, I guess, just a whistle you said, right?
Yeah.
Basically,
I think that one's double-sided. I don't know, but like it'd be kind of useless on this side of the crossing for someone going east. But yeah, that's got to be old, and it's pretty cool. It's still there. I mean, hasn't been used in 3 years, and it's up for abandonment. So it's cool to still see something like that here. And I think somewhere along the line there's still mileposts.
Yeah. Like
original mileposts that show like so many miles to New York. On the rail trail part that is east of here by about 15 miles, they still have some of those, and they actually use them for like trail markers. So it's pretty neat. But
that's awesome.
Figure we stop, show these off, while we're tracing the line.
Just kind of out tracing the line, yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap! What does that say? 241 south.
All right, so now we're actually here, southern side of Ashland, and this is the rail line that is still fully in active service. There's just one line, but this is the Ashland line. This is what used to run the West Salem. This is the line that's still in active service. Every week, they always find different, or the trains always come through. There's multiple businesses in Ashland. And then all throughout, like for example, right over here behind us, there's actually a business. There is, it's a little spur off. It's obvious, it's not in use anymore. It hasn't been in use for years. You know, try to go back in time on Google, you know, try and find when there were cars there. Been way before this time, but anyway, we're gonna kind of just go along because there's a whole bunch of older bridges as well that we can kind of go off and find that are obviously still being used every day. We're gonna try and get some good drone footage of it, but this runs all the way to Mansfield, and then it runs from Mansfield into Shelby, Ohio, and all kinds of different things. So we're gonna just kind of keep going down the line here.
Yeah.
So now we're actually running a little bit more south of where we just were, and there's another train bridge.
Yep, parallel to Route 42, more or less. Another train bridge. We're kind of looking too because it's wider.
Yeah, look at how wide it is.
It's pretty interesting. It looks like both the tracks are still there.
Yeah.
Or the spans for both tracks when it was double tracked, but I don't know where all that other stuff is for. Unless maybe it's more of the trolley. It could be potentially trolley line stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. We're gonna have to do a lot more investigation on that because there's.
If we figure it out, we'll add it in.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. So once again, we're along the rails here of the Ashland line, and guess what you just discovered?
Yeah, this is the same trolley line we've been
structure
in parts of. So this is that same trolley line that we showed in the clips of the bridge. This trolley line runs through West Salem where we lived, and it's running along the Erie tracks here. We'll show. I'm sure showing that footage of down a little bit of ways if we can look and see the right of way down here.
Yeah,
it's still clear after so long.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely what this is.
We saw, where the bridge used to be for this, and we're gonna go check down here next to the
another big bridge,
and see if there's anything left there.
Oh, I'm sure there is. But anyway, what do you think that was part of? Do you think that was just part of a bridge or
probably
something?
Some sort of bridge structure too, because it looks like there's a little pool of water down there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if beneath us right here is another like culvert or something, but that one's stone. That's not concrete. That's kind of the first piece that we've seen that is that's stone and not just like some sort of concrete. So that's cool. So we're out here a little south of Ashland along the track that's still used, and we checked out that big bridge down there. It's pretty sick. Obviously used to be double tracked, but still in really good shape, spanning it looks to be a river down there.
Yeah, some kind of a creek.
Yeah, and then next to us here we have the
that's the trolley line that we've been kind of, this really wasn't the main purpose of the video, but the more everywhere we go, there's remnants of it. There's something of it, so why not talk about it?
We've been using the like historic surveying maps from Ashland County, and that's really helped us pinpoint a lot of where that line is, because it's not still here, of course. In between the last bridge and this one, I looked up on their website, and I confirmed that it is the right of way for the trolley line. And of course down there it's parallel to it too. Of course the bridge is not there anymore.
Right, but there's still the old structure, the old supports from it. Which
it's very cool.
It's awesome, especially just because of how old it is. Because just like you said, they pretty much disbanded it.
It's almost been gone for 100 years. At least, and once again, we're filming this before we actually research this specific trolley line, other than looking at survey maps to see where it was. So when we go in, before we post this video, we'll get some information and probably update some stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm basing my knowledge off of the trolley line that runs through Worcester, Ohio, and it went out of business in the early 1930s.
Yeah. So
I'm assuming this was the same, because a lot of these trolley lines were not around. These like spanning whole state trolley lines were gone by World War II. So, and I believe a lot of the rails were pulled up actually for steel for World War II.
Yeah, I remember that's what you were telling me.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, very cool giant bridge. I didn't it doesn't look huge from here.
No, it doesn't.
But when you go under it, holy cow.
It's humongous.
Like, you can probably fit double stack train cars under it. From what it looks like it's tall enough that you could fit it under there. This line in its heyday saw up to 80 trains a day.
Like we would not.
More,
we were just talking about that. We would not be able to have more than 2 minutes out of the day, out of the time, just to do what we're doing right now without some kind of train. So it's amazing just to kind of look at this. And
I think that's it for here.
I'd say so. I mean, like, there's some more bridges and whatnot, but really finding this trolley line running parallel pretty much today, like half hour ago, it's pretty awesome.
It's amazing. And that, you know, the actual like bridge that's still intact that we saw before this, that's probably the highlight of anything I've ever discovered.
I don't think anybody knows about that.
No, I don't think
I've never
so.
seen it anywhere.
If anybody looked at it, they there's no way they know what it is.
Nope.
I mean, it's, you really got to look at the maps to even understand what it potentially could be. Alrighty, so we're here now in Mansfield. Okay, we've kind of traced the tracks from Ashland, well, north of Ashland to Mansfield here. We are in the area of really what's the kind of the coolest stuff left is. So over here, we got another bridge. You can see both tracks, one track remaining, but we got a signal, which is awesome.
Yeah, we do.
We haven't had a signal yet, or, you know, just some like concrete bases. So there's still a signal. Those are called searchlight signals if you're not aware, but that's left. And then this way leads to Union Station, would have been there. And then right now the tracks have been switched, so they're actually cut off at this point. They're cut off from what we've shown you so far, and what is left is part of Norfolk Southern. So they got this, and then there's a train yard that we're gonna do another video about that is down this line that actually has not been used in quite some time, probably over 10 years, maybe 15. This goes to the Ontario yard. This goes to the Erie, Ontario yard, where it was used to serve the stamping plant that used to be in Ontario, Ohio, which is right next to Mansfield. But that's where this line goes. This is owned by Norfolk Southern now. It connects to their route here, which is also, it's an old Pennsylvania route that has been severely neutered.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lost a lot. Obviously not as much as this, but yeah, this is no longer Ashland Railroad territory. And some cool things to know, back there kind of behind those, where those trees were, was the original station, and it was kind of triangle shaped, surrounded by railroads on three sides. Pennsylvania kind of along would be the northeast side, and then the northwest side was these tracks here, the Erie. And there was a tower over there. Anyways, cars going by. We're by a busy road, Route 13 here in Mansfield. But yeah, if you ever want to try to see some of this stuff, right now we're on Route 13 in Mansfield. Kind of downtown
tracks
Mansfield.
all over the place.
They're all over the place. There was 3 railroads that came through here. And likewise, there was 3 different towers. So I was mentioning the one that was down by the station for the Pennsylvania and the Erie. And then down this way, west on the tracks, was where the Baltimore and Ohio and the Erie crossed. And that crossing's still there, but the Erie, or the Baltimore Ohio tracks, kind of end right there. All right, so switching gears here a little bit, we have moved over from Erie. We're actually on a different railroad's turf, sort of. We're along the Pennsylvania Railroad Fort Wayne line, which is now the Norfolk Southern Fort Wayne line. But the reason we came over here is to show these tracks that are right here behind me. This is currently the Ashland Railroad interchange, and historically it was the Erie Railroad interchange. It's still used as an interchange today. We have signals on both sides. We can see this is original Pennsylvania signal down here, and then further down we have, well, it looks like grass, dead grass there, and then there's a track curving off, which is what's
where we just were previously.
Yes. It is where we were previously. It connects to that. That is what's left, because the original track that just went straight across and had a diamond was severed. So looking this way, we have another signal bridge down in the distance. That one is actually an old or newer signal bridge. That one was put in by Penn Central. And then closer up to us here is the signal actually for the interchange track here.
Okay.
And that's what governs whatever train to get on to the Pennsylvania Railroad, or now Norfolk Southern Railroad.
So then, yeah, so all the way up, those signals down there, and so we need to get a steam engine in West Salem again.
Yes. It's never happening.
Never again. But it's pretty cool to see that this is where this is where it comes together at.
And like right back in the back, kind of behind these buildings, is where the Erie was, and then I think I said this already, but over in the grass is where it crossed over the tracks and the station was.
Yep.